Alex Alonso here, Street TV, tapping in with another video entitled "The 6 Points Towards Guilt in the Tory Lanez Case." I know that this case has had a lot of people split, a lot of people divided, and a lot of people just confused. But I'm gonna highlight the six main reasons why I believe the jury found Tory Lanez guilty. And then I might take a few questions from those if you want to tap in and ask some questions. Because keep in mind, I was in the trial for every single day. I didn't miss a I didn't miss one witness, any testimony, and there were, I believe, a total of 13 witnesses, and there were 47 exhibits presented by the prosecution. And though even though I haven't met any juror in this case, but I have watched about 50 trials in the past 15 years, and I've actually consulted. A lot of people don't know this side of me, but I've consulted on about 600 different court cases in the last 20 years where I give advice, provide some strategy. And of those 600 plus cases, I've actually testified as an expert in about 110 cases. So I got a little bit of experience in understanding how these trials, what goes on in these trials. And also, I've actually worked on four post conviction cases. Post conviction cases is when after somebody's been found guilty, like Tory Lanez, they've been sent to prison, they've been sentenced, and they're trying to get out of jail because they believe that their case was done. It was a miscarriage of justice. That's a habeas corpus case, it's called. I've only worked on four of those cases. And of those four cases, we were able to get all four of those guys out of prison. They're all home now. And of the 110 cases that I've actually testified in as an expert, I definitely have a fair share of not guilty verdicts and hung juries and lesser offenses um, on my record. So I got a little bit of experience here. So I'm going to go through the six main reasons why Tory Lanez was found guilty, and we'll start off with the first one here. And I have an article, and I'll put in the description below, of all the exhibits and all the evidence that was presented in the trial, if you're interested in the actual exhibits. So let me go to the first, I would say, first point of evidence that the jury considered. These are six points that I think the jury considered significantly. And the first one would be the apology phone call from Kelsey Harris. The I'm sorry, the apology phone call from jail to Kelsey Harris by Tory Lanez. This was a phone call that was introduced as Exhibit 22. I'll have the link below for the actual audio if you haven't already checked that out. It's about 4 minutes long, and there's also a transcript for that. Now, keep in mind that just one of these points of evidence isn't enough alone to find Tory Lanez guilty. But when you add all six of these together, it's provides a very powerful case. So the apology phone call from Tory Lanez does not reference him shooting Megan Thee Stallion, not once. But you have to keep in mind, what was he talking about? And the defense did a good job at trying to offer an alternative theory of what he was talking about, and basically, they presented a narrative that he was talking about outing a sexual relationship between him and Kelsey and him and Megan, and a lot of people believe that. But there's one part of that phone call that Kelsey says that, "A lot has happened, and the report is already out." And I think the prosecution did a good job at saying, "Hey, listen to this call over and over and over again. And what else could he be apologizing about? Can you wrap your mind around him apologizing about outing a sexual relationship, or is he apologizing for the shooting?" And I think that one part where Kelsey says, "A lot has happened and the report is already out." So that that's the first point that I want to highlight. Um, I know a lot of people might disagree on that, but let's go to the second point. The second one is the apology text. That's what the prosecution called the apology text. The apology text was introduced as Exhibit 28, and that was a text message that Tory sent to Megan after he was released from jail, and, I think I have the text right here. Let's see if I have the text for you. Yeah, here we go. Well, let me show you this text real quickly. Oh, no, not that one. Not that one. We are looking for Exhibit 28, and in that in that apology text, you also gotta be able to explain what the heck is he talking about. Again, he doesn't reference the shooting, not once, but he does say in this text, this is a screen capture of the actual text message that came out of the phone, and it reads, "Meg, I know you probably never gonna talk to me again, but I genuinely want you to know I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, and I was just too drunk. Nonetheless, it should have never happened, and I can't change what did. I just feel horrible because I genuinely got too drunk." So that's the second piece of evidence that I wanted to share with you guys of what the jury probably looked at when they came back with the guilty verdict. All right, let's move on to the third part of why the jury found Tory Lanez guilty. And the third piece of evidence that I think the jury considered very significantly is the statement that Kelsey Harris made to the prosecutors in September of 2022. This was Exhibit 41. It was about an hour. There's also an audio. There's an hour conversation that Kelsey Harris had with prosecutors, and there's also a transcript about 66 pages long. I'll have those links in the description below. But during this conversation, it showed that Kelsey Harris was not under any sort of she was not coerced. She sounded very relaxed, and she just basically told the story of how it happened step by step. And she actually says that Tory Lanez is the shooter. Of course, when she came to court in December, she told a whole 'nother story, but that September statement that the jury had a chance to listen to, they had the transcript to read, that was a very important piece of evidence that the jury considered, and, here's just a piece of the transcript that I have on the website. You can go to streetgangs.com, and you could download these 66 pages, and you can check that out. Let's move on to the fourth strong piece of evidence that the jury probably considered, and that would be the text another text message. Text message from Kelsey Harris to Justin Edison moments after the shooting. Let's see if I got that here for you. That would be Exhibit 32, and this is it right here. This happened moments after the shooting. This is Kelsey Harris sending Justin Edison, who works with Megan Thee Stallion, a text message at what time does it say there? This looks like it says 4:27 AM, about 5 or 6 minutes after the shooting, and she types, "Help, Tory shot Meg, 911." So that's a that was a big piece of evidence that I'm almost certain that the jury considered. And, let's move on to point number 5, and point number 5 would be actual testimony from Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly actually puts the gun in Tory's hand. Sean Kelly testified that the little guy, the short guy, was busting his gun, and, there was no way around it. He identified Tory Lanez as the shooter, which was consistent with what Kelsey Harris said in that statement in September, and then the sixth and final piece of evidence was testimony from Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion also identified Tory Lanez as the shooter when she testified, and there's really no way around it. I believe these 6 points of evidence are the strongest pieces of evidence that pointed towards guilt, and I'm almost certain that the jury considered all 6 of these, and those are the top 6 points of evidence that the jury considered when they decided guilt against Tory Lanez. I appreciate everybody tapping in. I will have another video that will go into their 80-page motion. Thanks for tapping in with Street TV.